Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 250,000 subscribers. Shocked we're not there yet, but we're very close. So hit subscribe, watch, and most importantly, share with your friends because this stuff is important. Now, this weekend, Trump took to social media to throw Speaker Mike Johnson, you know who I'm talking about, MAGA Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, under the bus. Just days before the Speaker election, which takes place on January 3rd. Yeah, we're just days away. And the first thing I want to do is to show you the tweet. But per usual, Trump's post, it was confusing. And RonFilipowski actually broke it down nicely. So I'm going to show you that afterwards. Let me begin. Let me show you the tweet of Donald Trump. It says, the extension of the debt ceiling by a previous Speaker of the House, a good man and a friend of mine, from this past September of the Biden administration to June of the Trump administration, will go down as one of the dumbest political decisions made in years. So when I say that I'm confused, a good man and a friend of mine, but one of the dumbest political decisions made in years, he goes on to say, there was no reason to do it. Nothing was gained, of course, all caps, and we got nothing for it. A major reason why that speakership was lost. It was Biden's problem, not ours. Now it becomes ours. I call it 1929 because the Democrats don't care what our country may be forced into. In fact, they would prefer depression as long as it hurt the Republican Party. The Democrats must be forced to take a vote on this treacherous issue now, during the Biden administration, and not in June. They should be blamed for this potential disaster, not the Republicans. Now, my friends, I want to be very clear that this took place. This post went out on December 29th. December 29th. This doesn't make any sense at all. And now, in comparison, again, I want to show you what RonFilipowski said, who broke that entire post down really quite concisely. He says, Trump threw Mike Johnson under the bus just days before the Speaker's election on January 3rd. He said that Kevin McCarthy's decision to extend the debt ceiling rather than shut down the government earlier this year will go down as one of the dumbest political decisions made in years. And Johnson continued to do exactly the same thing as McCarthy, twice. Trump then demanded that Johnson reconvene Congress to attempt to raise the debt ceiling now while Biden is in office, since he wants to be able to blame Biden and Democrats for exploding the deficit when he passed massive tax cuts for the wealthy while dramatically increasing government spending. Are you seeing where we're going with this, my friends? All right, let me repeat this once again. Trump demanded, didn't ask, demanded that MAGA Mike Johnson reconvene Congress to attempt to raise the debt ceiling right now so that he could blame Biden and Democrats for what everyone knows would happen if they didn't raise the debt ceiling, and that's to explode the deficit. Because one thing we know that Trump intends to do, this is not news, it should not be news to anyone. He intends to pass massive tax cuts for the wealthy, as well as to increase government spending. This is, of course, an impossibility, so it will not happen. So the only thing his rage post tonight will accomplish is to give MAGA Mike Johnson critics and opponents in the House the ammo that they need to vote him out. Trump's post tonight will be read on the floor of the House by one of the challengers to Johnson. Well, no shit to that one. The lesson to be learned by Johnson and every other Republican is that no matter how much you kiss Trump's ass, the second you are no longer useful to him, he will stab you in the back. Now, I want to be clear about something as well, something that we saw. It was not Republicans who saved MAGA Mike Johnson when there was a vote on the floor to remove him as House Speaker. No. In fact, it was Democrats. They didn't want to rock the boat. Look, the House is controlled. It's controlled by the Republicans. They were very much like what they did to McCarthy. They were going to vote MAGA Mike Johnson out until Democrats stepped up and kept him, because if not, there really wasn't enough time for another series of rounds of voting in order to see who was going to be the speaker. And so Democrats did what was necessary in order to benefit the American people, to benefit government and government's functionality. Now, I also want to show you something that Representative Jeff Van Drew, who went on Fox, no shock there, right? And contradicted himself. He literally goes on TV and he contradicts himself, saying that he will do whatever Trump tells him to do, but that he's a very independent guy. Play the clip.
Is supporting the speaker.
I am supporting the speaker. And let me say, if, I hear from President Trump, who I do speak with relatively regularly, and I have a relationship with him to the contrary, that would change my mind. Let me say this. I'm a very independent person, so I get it. I get it. Members of Congress want to express their individual viewpoint. We're a co-equal branch of government, et cetera, et cetera. But there was a mandate from the people of the United States of America in both the popular vote and the electoral vote to make change. Now,
yes, that is true. That is true. Nobody is arguing there, Congressman Van Drew, that Donald Trump won the election. Nobody's questioning that. Nobody's questioning that a plurality of Americans did not vote for Donald Trump. That is also true. Yes. Are you independent? Are you an independent guy? Not if, and hear me on this one, not if you come out and you say that you will do whatever Trump tells you to do. Let me be very clear. Not all states have the same issues. Not all members of Congress are supposed to vote the exact same way. You see, New Jersey and Idaho or Iowa are not the same. New Jersey is not a farm state. Iowa is. All right. Jersey has other issues that they need government to look into, like potentially cleaning up the Passaic, which is fucking filthy, filled with all forms of leachate in it, drinking water a disaster. Maybe other states like Kentucky don't have the same issue. So when you say that whatever Trump tells you to do you really think that that's what your constituents want you to do? To be a rubber stamp Charlie? That whatever it is that you're told to do, you're going to do? That's not being an independent guy. That's not being an independent thinker. What are you thinking? I say that that's absolutely wrong. Look, let me be very clear here. I don't believe Mike Johnson is a good speaker. I don't. He is who we have right now. Do I think that he's going to survive January 3rd? No, not for a second. Question is, who ultimately becomes the speaker? They're even floating an idea that they should make Elon Musk into Speaker of the House. And you may say, but how? He's not a member of Congress. Here's a little fun factoid for you. You don't have to be. Isn't that crazy? To be Speaker of the House, number 3 in line, President, Vice President, Speaker of the House, in the event that bad things happen. Imagine the 3rd in line, who could not take the presidency under any circumstance because he's not he's not born in the United States. But they're contemplating on making Elon Musk. The fact that they're even having that conversation, throwing that idea out there, I find reprehensible. To remove Mike Johnson and then to float the idea of having Elon Musk as the Speaker of the House, I don't I don't think it's going to happen, but the fact that they're talking about is just disgraceful. Who's going to be the next speaker? I don't know. None of us actually know yet. A lot of people jockeying for that position. And my opinion, I really hate to say it, but the one that I think Donald Trump is going to push the most is going to be the one that takes it. So whoever's the most MAGA will ultimately become our next Speaker of the House. This is dangerous, by the way. It's very dangerous because, again, it's the Speaker of the House who's going to make the determination whether or not certain bills get to the floor. These are the dangers that we're going to be facing, assuming things like this happen. And again, I have to use the word assuming because we're 21 or so days out before which the inauguration is to take place. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.